I came with a demon casting anointing. That demon that is against your progress. That demon against your success. That demon against your financial future. That demon against your liberty. By the grace of God, you are here to change your
was a tree that was pleasant to the sight. A dimension of God, a dimension of sight, not eyes. That's why prophets are not people who have eyes, they are people with sight. They see, they have sight, not eyes.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Means everything is done, everything is perfect, everything is nice, everything is the way God wants it to be like. Okay? Let's go to verse number 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. There is a gap in years between verse number 1 and verse number 2. I'll explain it to you. The Bible says God does everything perfect in His own time. Hello? God does everything what? Perfect in His own time. I believe that if verse number 1 and verse number 2 together combined was the beginning of the beginning, it proves that God does not exist. Why do I say so? How does God create heaven and earth and finish that scenario without addressing darkness? Okay? If you go to the book of Isaiah, you discover that there is a place where the Bible speaks about Lucifer, who looks at God and got to a point where he was jealous of everything that was happening. That's where verse number 2 comes from. It comes from when Lucifer wants to be like God, and is kicked out of heaven, and he's thrown out of heaven, and he comes to the earth. And now he's darkness. In verse number 1, he's still an angel of God, who was a cherub, a worshipper, one who had authority in the heavens, the greatest rank of angels. That's what he was in verse number 1. In verse number 2, he is now no more what he was. He now comes as darkness. And how do I know that he comes as darkness? It's simply because the earth that God has created, that is perfect, is now without form and void. Okay? And there is darkness which is upon the face of the deep. Why the face of the deep? Simply because Lucifer understood that every greatest things in this world are hidden in the deep. Where do you find oil? In the deep. Where do you find gold? In the deep. Where do you find silver? In the deep. Where do you find diamonds? In the deep. Everything that are treasures in the world we are living at is hidden in the deep. So he had to sit on the face, or rather on the door of the deep, to make sure that all treasures that men would desire to have, they cannot have. I'll preach about that some other time. I'm just trying to lay a foundation and a background. Let's go to John chapter number 3, verse number 16. Which I believe you know about and love it very much. For God so loved the world. I want you to mark the first line. For God so loved the world. If the Bible is not yours, mark it. When the owner of the Bible asks you why do you mark it, say the preacher whom I listen to today say that you mark it. That he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. We're still continuing with the journey we've started. In Genesis, God creates the heaven and the earth. In John 3:16, He sends Jesus to the world. The world was never created created. We hear of the world while we are living. Meaning that from creation, the world never existed. But the earth was present. The world never existed. The earth was present. I will prove it to you. The world was not present, but the earth was present. Go to the book of Psalms 24, verse number 1. I want to show you that there is a difference between the earth and the world. The earth is the Lord, the fullness therefore, the world and they that dwell in it. If the world and the earth was one thing, God wouldn't have repeated himself right there. So he says the earth is the Lord's, the fullness, therefore, the world, meaning that the world is different from the earth. Hello? I said I'm about to confuse you so that I can redeem you. We're still going in the journey. Jesus is not sent to the earth. Do you know why? The earth is perfect. It has no problem. But the world has all problems we are facing today. And the world is not a geographical location. It's a spiritual place. The earth is a geographical location. The world is a spiritual place. Hello? I'm about to get confused, but it is for redemption. So God sends Jesus in John 3, please project it again. He sends Jesus to the world. Why? Because the world needs salvation. The earth doesn't need salvation. That's why animals do not become born again. Yet Jesus is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So, when does the world begin to be the world? The day that men sin, a firmament spiritually is created. The day in which you eat of this fruit, you shall know, you shall have the knowledge of good and evil. The evil day is the world. Huh? That's why the Bible says, whosoever was born of God has overcome what? The world. Which means the world is not a place. How do you overcome? The place you need to live in. I'm about to preach on what I simply titled the love affair. Would you tell your neighbor, shout the love affair? We are in a relationship with God, but we are having an affair on Him. Because God has created us to live in the earth. That's the reason why, if you go to the book of Genesis chapter number 1, let's find verse number 24, if I'm not mistaken. God help me very greatly so, by your grace. I want us to locate in a place where God blesses men. You will see, it doesn't bless him in the world, He blesses him in the earth. And the Lord said, let the earth bring forth living creatures, not the world. The earth is bringing forth it, which means living creatures don't live in the world. They live in the earth. And the funny part is this, the enemy has brought this subject of the world to make it a normal thing, as if we are born to live in the world. Say that you are happy I'm in the world, I still want to travel the world. What am I trying to say? It is the earth that is bringing out living creatures, not the world. Because the world is a spiritual phenomenon in which the enemy has dominion over. Anybody who's born in this earth is automatically entering into the world. But when you get born again, you don't want to live in the world. So Jesus is sent to the world to come and redeem us to the original state of life. Hello? And the funny part is this. Go to that John 3:16 again. God speaks to us. He says, for God so loved the world. Meaning that God had an ability to redeem Adam from the beginning. Did you know that the salvation or the eternal life that John 3:16 speaks about, everlasting life, was found in the Garden of Eden? There were two trees that were there. The tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life, which is Christ. So God kicked out Adam and Eve from the garden simply because he didn't want them to have everlasting life out of the works of their own flesh. Because they were not gonna die in the world. So he had to kick them out from the garden to protect salvation. So that now when we get born again, it should become a spiritual translation from this world to becoming children of God. Hello? Praise the Lord. I want to make you understand this. God had to bring a solution. But the solution to what he had to bring unto men was love. Without love, there wouldn't be salvation. That's the reason why, as a Christian, what makes you different is love. Let me submit this to you. There is nobody who is not born again who knows how to love. I've killed all of you. There is nobody who is not born again who knows how to love. How do you know how to love if God is love? It means that it is in the day where you have the nature of God that you know how to love. That which you call love, that is happening in the world. No. It is what we call an economical exchange, which has a good name that nobody will be suspicious. That's the reason why God's love, when they offend you, you love more. Remember, for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. He wasn't sending his son to the people who loved him. He was sending his son to his enemies. He had to slaughter his son to his enemies to save his enemies. We were once enemies of God. So, true love exists when we have God. Which means everything that the world calls love is not love. That's why, if you go to the book of, let's go to 1 John chapter number 2, verse number 15. I'm about to go. I told you by 10 it should be out. 1 John 2:15. The Bible says, love not the world. Meaning that automatically when you get born again, you don't have to love the world. Do you know why? Because already God has loved the world and the world has received enough love. It no one needs any love from anybody else. The love that God has given to the world is enough. That's the reason why immediately when he wins you to himself, he wants you to divorce the world. Because if you continue having an affair with the world, you won't understand all the benefits and all that he has created you to be. Most of us don't grow in our Christian life simply because we are born again in this world. And the truth of the matter, Jesus speaks it very well. He says, whatsoever that is born of flesh is flesh. And whatsoever that is born of the spirit is spirit. God doesn't live in the world. He sent his son to the world to come and redeem us from the world. That's the reason why when you go to the book of Revelation, you go to discover that the earth is destroyed and there is a new heaven and a new earth created without a new world being established. Because the earth from the world from the beginning was not supposed to be there. What am I trying to teach you? You need to understand as a Christian that living for God is not hard. The problem is you want to do it in this world, using the patterns of this world and the strategies of this world and walk in this world. That's why Jesus speaks in the book of John 3. He says, the wind bloweth where it pleases. This is the same as people of the spirit. We do not know where they come from, neither do we know where they are going. Which means the life that God is calling you unto in salvation is the life that is unpredictable. I always ask people when she encounters this question and say, if before you were born again you used to use your two eyes to see, and you are born again you still use the very same eyes, what are you born again to? What are you born again to? If all you used to suffer from before you gave your life to Jesus and you are still suffering from it, what are you born again to? Because this new life that you receive is a life that shall be reflected over your life. Hello? The reason why you shouldn't love the world is simply because when you die, this body you have loved so much will remain in this world. So with your flesh. And that's not how it should be. The greatest enemy you have before the devil is yourself. Until you conquer yourself, you can't conquer the devil. Because the devil uses yourself to destroy you. There is nobody in this whole world who would say that the devil kidnapped me and placed me into drugs. He came at night and pulled me to Long Street. Which means he comes and suggests, and your own self, you accept and use your own two legs to fulfill his assignment. So, meaning that until you were able to destroy your own self, that's the reason why the moment you love Jesus, your greatest enemy is you. That's why people like me, I don't eat simply because this body is hungry. I tell it when to eat. Why not to eat? Because the more you obey it, the more it controls you. And the funny part is this body will die here. It is out of sin. We will bury you 6 feet under and leave this body. And the funny part is this: most of us when we die, we don't know ourselves anymore because all we knew is this body. If I can come to you right now and ask you, tell me 5 things about yourself, you will tell me your body, not yourself. Yet your body is not yourself. Hello? Amen. Some of you say, you know, I love you from my heart. I'll show you something. You see, the heart that God uses to love is not that one you have. I'll ask you a question. Are you saying that if I have, maybe I am married and I have a heart transplant and they give me maybe my father's heart, will I turn against my wife when I wake up? Because now the heart which I use now is no more there. To show that the heart that loves is within you. It is in the spirit you. Hello? So you need to grow in your Christian walk with God. Grow beyond feeding your flesh. You are not your body, you are your spirit. From the beginning, you were created to live a spirit life. Hello? That's the reason why from the beginning Adam and Eve were naked, but they never knew that they were naked simply because their body never gave them signs and signals. It is after the day they sinned that their body is also responding, saying from the beginning I was naked. Look, I am naked. So you do not have to worry much about your flesh. The reason why some of us cannot live for God is simply because we want to live for God in our own power. And do you know what does that mean? It means that we are saying Jesus came in vain. His power is useless. His love, we don't need it. We can do it by our own selves. When you accept Jesus, you say, God, I can't. I need you to lead me. And the first leadership it does is to show you that you are not your flesh. You are not your body. You are your spirit. Praise the Lord. So, meaning that men within themselves, they cannot love. The flesh will never ever love God, not in a day. How many times have you told God, I won't do it again? And the next time you do it again, you go back to him and say, this is the last time. God, I won't do it again. And we keep on repeating it. And God understands why, simply because Jesus was once in the flesh. That's the reason why Jesus is the advocate. Because he understands. God doesn't understand how the flesh lives simply because he was never in the flesh. It is Jesus who came and lived in the flesh. And then he's the one who will tell God, you know, you need to understand. Bring down there. Be merciful. But however, the mercies of God are not here for us to remain the way we are. They are here to push us to grow in God. The reason why Christians are no more growing is simply because we want to love like the world loves. Hello? Praise the Lord. That's the reason why when a person who's paralyzed will come here, you people will feel shame for them. And it's the flesh responding, not the spirit. I wish we are allowed to come and heal them. But the love of God says, here comes the opportunity for Jesus to be glorified. Hello? The flesh brings fear when God has to be seen. The spirit brings comfort and peace because we know God is in charge. How many of you have had friends who came to you asking for advice and you use your own flesh? You're like, I don't know how to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. All shall be okay. Yet if you have tapped in your spiritual dimension, you would have spoken words like God would expect you to. Let me say this with you. God is hungry to do the impossible. He likes people who can be comfortable outside of their own flesh. People who are ready to risk it. And the funny part is this: you cannot be a Christian unless you are a risk taker. Imagine going to a blind person, telling them you shall see right now. It takes risks. And the funny part is this: because you believe that it is your power that heals them, all you do is to allow your flesh to respond. And the only thing that your flesh will do, it responds in pity. How I wish Jesus was around, in the days of the Bible. Jesus would do it. The reason why Jesus made you born again is for him to go and rest in the throne. You are the Jesus in this time. He now dwells in you. Meaning that Jesus, God is a mathematician. He understood that the only way he can multiply himself is for him to send the seed. And the seed he sent was Jesus. He planted it in this world on the ground. That's why he died. When Jesus died, he was buried in the ground as a seed, in order for him to become a tree and bring out fruits that we are. So we are a portion that Jesus has to use to touch the world. Meaning that as long as we are not ready to show out the love of God to the world, we are wasting our time. From today, wherever you go, let people know you, because the way you express yourself is not earthly at all. It's not worldly at all. You are a different breed from the rest of the people who are around you. You show forth the love of God in all dimensions. Let people know that there is a man in whom when they sit under, there is a peace they feel they've never felt before. You are an environment, you are a spirit. You cannot be distant by a geographical location. That Jesus lives in you means that the ability that God carries is within you. God, I wish I had power. Which power? He has given you all power. There is no more power in heaven. All power is with you. So be confident to believe. Look at this. And Paul speaks something in the book of Corinthians. He says, let us do everything in love. He says, even if you can speak in tongues and prophesy and make miracles, if we don't love, it is in vain. Meaning that what makes us do all these things is not power, it is love. Hello? All the miracles you saw Jesus doing, he wasn't trying to prove power, he was trying to show love. But in the 21st century, churches want to prove power, not show love. That's the reason why we are proving it in many diverse ways that are bad sometimes. Love. When we as Christians can grow to understand that we are the expression of the love of God today. Meaning that if people want to see that God exists, they should look at you and say, surely I've seen somebody who has showed me the love of God. Hello? Let me say this to you. From today, be open enough to show love no matter the situation in which you are in. Some of the times we just meet strangers and something within you will tell you, go and speak to them. The problem with Christians is this: we expect God to give us a reward. That's where we can obey unto Him. If God will come to you and say, do this, without Him telling you what He will do on your behalf, you won't do it. And that's an exchange. Yet obedience is do this and you do it without knowing what will happen after when you've done it. There are times where I will walk unto people and God will tell me, speak to this person. I don't even know what to say. I take the first step and say, hey, how are you? I'm waiting for the next word. And then when God begins to speak, that's when I speak. Meaning that showing the love of God, prophesying, healing the sick is simple. All you need to do is to be obedient to God. And let me tell you something, you lose nothing when you obey God. If I come to somebody and say in the name of Jesus be healed and they don't get healed, it's not me, it's Jesus' name I've used, not my own. So I lose nothing. Jesus should come and make sure that his own name is not embarrassed. That's the kind of mentality I have within my spirit. That Jesus is so powerful that he doesn't need me to assist him to do the miracle. all I can do is to do what he commanded me to do. And the book of Mark 16:15 says, and those who believe in me, they shall go around laying hands upon the sick, and the sick shall be healed. Meaning that the dimension of miracles and the casting of demons and the healing of the sick is for me other believers. Anybody who believes. That's the reason why I've seen in my ministration sometimes I will go to a place and God will ask me to use a Sunday school 5-year-old, 3-year-old baby to lay hands upon demons, and demons will come out. Simply because these things are not hard things to do. But only if you are ready to obey God in love. Am I speaking to somebody right here? Yeah. So I didn't come to tell you many things. I came to tell you that there is Jesus who came in this world to show you love. And when you have experienced the love of God, let it not end in you. Go out, be the expression of God's love. Let people look at you and see the love of God. Let people look at your affairs and experience God. How about you become that person in whom even when strangers pass you, they feel there is something that can give them relief by speaking to you. God didn't make you born again for you to be useless. He saved you to be a vessel to go out and become a person in which he can use to save the person. I'll leave you with this question. Have you ever thought that you might be the only vessel that God has to save some of the people around you? And because you don't see it, many are perishing, while you are the one that God has placed as a door for salvation. Go out with that consciousness of understanding and knowing that wherever you are, people should experience the love of God. Praise the Lord. Let us stand. Wow. I made it time. If you are here, you haven't given your life to Christ, this is a great opportunity. But then, I would like you to have. Let me say this to you. I received the call of God from the age of 5. I'm still young, hoping to be easy. So, I was still young, very, very young. But the moment I became born again, what happened in my life was, I wish I should have been born again from the first day that God visited me. Because there is something about being born again. I mean, genuine born again. Not this one in which you go and follow Jesus our life and take it up to church. Not that one. I mean, genuinely having a relationship with God. Knowing that we have a person who's strong enough that we can find him. Who will never ever in the day say,